Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. It's me in Vancouver Island with my buddy Kirk. You know him as Goilo60. You know him as the beer drinker. You know him as the park lover. I love a good park, eh?
I love a good.
You know, you walk around the parks and there's just
parks are
such a nice
parks
thing.
are so good because, well, but here you can't be drinking beer in the park in Canada.
Oh, you can't be drinking beer in Canada in the parks?
Well, you see, that's
you need to go back to China. You know, you go to China, you can drink the beer, right? Or walking around the parks.
What you need to do is you need to get one of those Coca-Cola covers for your beer can. See, Canadians.
You need to use your noggin.
Yeah, we're not very cute, but we are smart beer drinkers.
Hey, in this video, I wanted to talk about something, and I thought you'd be a good person to talk about.
Yeah, I'll give you my point of view. My opinion is out there.
You put on the news, and you start looking at like the perception of China, the perception of, in this case, Russia, the perception of all these things, and there is this innate fear. This unquenchable desire to fear socialism and communism.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it is like, it's almost as if they're hiding under the bed and they're going to go and snatch you and your children and your dog and drag you to hell.
The only reason that they do that is because they don't want you to be like them. They don't want you to see how good they have it over there. You got it better than they do. Because your politicians and your mainstream media tells you you've got it better than they do.
It always bugged me, especially when I went to China and I started seeing how China worked and how people live there and how they're not like scared of capitalism. If communism and socialism and all of these isms were such a bad way to go, then why do we fight all of these wars? Why do we put so much energy into destroying them, into repressing them? If they're such bad systems, wouldn't they just fizzle out and be replaced by something that you create? It seems to me like a lot of the engagements that we have, especially in rebuke to these sort of other systems that aren't the Western system, are like, it's such a cop-out. You know, we invest all this money in the military, all this money in these ventures to try to squash a system, instead of saying, well, why don't you just try my system? My system is better. You know, wouldn't that be a much better way to do it rather than start a war and chastise and everything?